world Jesus mean by loving your enemy? This is one of those things that we hear and we even say, hey, I've got to love your enemy. You got to love everybody. You're commanded to. I think that's pretty hard to tell somebody you're commanded to love me. I don't know that that's how love works. So this loving our enemy, it's having this different attitude about the enemy overall, right? So one of Jesus' most misunderstood teachings, the key line is this: what if Jesus was not teaching weakness, but radical inner freedom? Because what happens when we don't love people? What happens when we've got enemies? What occurs? What happens to our attitude, our spirit, our mindset, our thoughts? All of these things get heavy when we've got enemies. But we tend to think of an enemy in a very soft way. And Jesus is looking at this totally different than we did. See, they were under occupation. Jesus taught this: under military occupation, during political tension, amid violent resistant movements, among people who genuinely hated Rome. This is when he taught, love your enemies. See, their enemies were the soldiers, the oppressors, collaborators, persecutors. So this was not abstract spirituality. It was spoken into real pain. The cultural mindset. You've heard it say, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. The first part, it came from Leviticus 19:18. It was right there in the text. Love your neighbor. The second part, it was a cultural assumption. It was a cultural additive. What did scripture say? Love your enemy. Well, what do we say? Yeah, love your neighbor. What do we say? Hate your enemy. Scripture says love your neighbor. We added hate your enemy. That's what occurred in that time frame. So that was the cultural belief system. And Jesus confronts the tribal mindset directly. That's what he's doing. So Jesus's words: love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Matthew 5:44. Luke 6 expands it. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who abuse you. Do good, bless, and pray. I mean, that's pretty crazy, because now loving your enemy is not tolerating. It's not just simply saying, well, you know what? I'm just going to, stay out of their way, and I'm just not going to do them harm. It's how love actually acts, that we're going to actually do good toward them. We're changing our actions toward them. We're praying for them. We're lifting them up in a positive way, not in may they be destroyed, may they learn their lesson. It's totally different than that. And then bless those who curse you. How did you bless someone? Bless those who curse you. When somebody curses you, it was not simply a cuss word, it was a pronouncement of negative entities on their life. Instead, you call in a blessing of God. I hope God blesses you today. I hope that you make rapid income today. I hope your family eats well today. This is a blessing that he would give out, that they would give out. And this is the type of love for enemies that we're supposed to have. So Jesus moves beyond revenge entirely. Love did not mean affection. So this word agape, intentional goodwill, chosen posture, love through action, love of the will. It's not a romantic feeling, emotional affection, pretending to like someone. It's a chosen posture, intentional goodwill, love through action. And so he's not commanding feelings. Jesus is commanding a posture, a way that we interact with people, a way that we consider people who are truly enemies, not someone that we just don't get along with. It's much deeper than that. So hatred binds us. So enemy hatred keeps the nervous system trapped, keeps identity reactive, allows enemies to control the inner state. Agape love, unconditional love, frees the inner world, restores choice, breaks the cycle of retaliation. Loving our enemies means that we refuse to become what hurt us. So when we think about having hatred. And this is a word that we probably don't think about too much. We'll even say I hate you to people, but this is a level of intensity that's being spoken about here. So that they were actively hating their enemies. They were doing harm to their enemies. Jesus comes along and says, I'm telling you to love your neighbors, to love your neighbors and love your enemies, to do good to them, do good to the people who try to harm you. And so he's bringing in this entirely different lifestyle to live and how to operate. Now, when we're not forgiving, when hatred is in our life, it does bind us, it locks us up, it keeps us immobile. You think about how it consumes our minds, and we think about what that person did to us and what that person said to us. It's very heavy, it's very constricting. And love frees us to be who we're really supposed to be. So, what can this look like today? Loving our enemies may mean refusing revenge, refusing dehumanizing people, setting healthy boundaries, speaking truth without hatred, not letting bitterness consume you, praying for healing instead of destruction. So you can oppose someone without becoming consumed by hate. So this loving our enemies is a very generous position, a very kind position, a gentle position. And this can be a little bit hard because we can get a little bit frustrated that it's not fair. It's not fair that they treat me that way and I'm supposed to just get walked all over. Well, this isn't about being walked on, and it's not about being stampeded, and it's not about, well, I'm just somebody's doormat. Instead, it's being in a place of peace and love and joy. Imagine maybe a 6-foot bubble extending from you of love, joy, and peace so that you become undisturbable. And when someone says something hateful to you, it has nothing to do with you. It's a reflection of them. It has nothing to do with you. You remain love, joy, and peace. And now this love, joy, and peace, how's it cause me to respond? I realize that this person who's so hateful toward me, so mean toward me, so rough toward me, they're hurting. Now you can't say, well, I know you're hurting and I know that's why you treat me that way. They won't appreciate that at all. But instead you start thinking, how can I love on them? How can I be kind to them? How can I send them an encouraging word? And then this altered life, this altered example, this is what changes hearts and spirits and lives. And let's say that that person never changes, but a coworker sees your reaction, a family member sees your reaction, and they go, wow, you're different. Why do you have that peace? Why do you have that joy? Why do you have that love? Why are you kind to them when they're so mean to you? Hmm? That's what happens when we love our enemies. We remain at peace and we bring peace to everybody else. Even if we don't bring peace to the enemy, we start bringing peace to other people. So let's think about that a little bit, of what it truly means to love our enemies and what that can look like today. Well, as always, I could be dead wrong. Please share your thoughts and your comments. Share ways that you practically love your enemy. And if you've got other questions, feel free to enter those below and we'll do an episode on them, or maybe I'll answer it in the comments. Either way, whether you comment or not, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss the next episode. And until then, be blessed.